During the Industrial Revolution, men, women, and children flocked from the countryside into the cities looking for work. Conditions in most of these cities were horrible. Factory owners built living quarters for their workers, but these were usually overcrowded. In some cases, a family of 5 was forced to live in a single room. Several families shared one water pump and one outdoor toilet. Cities grew so rapidly that conditions became extremely unsanitary and led to the outbreak of diseases such as typhus, cholera, and smallpox. For factory owners, there were definite advantages in hiring child laborers. They earned less money than adults, leaving greater profits for the owners. Children could also crawl under the looms and repair broken or loose threads. They could also fit in narrow coal mine tunnels. Children worked under horrible conditions. Many were beaten by their employers, while others suffered severe health problems and physical deformities. Eventually, laws were passed that limited the number of hours a day that children could work and how old they had to be to work. Most factory workers put in 10 to 12 hours a day, usually 6 days a week. Pay in the factories was low, so many families had to send their children to work in the factories as well, in order to bring in a little more money. For many years, there were no safety laws to protect the workers. There were no health standards that the factory owners had to stick to either. If workers got sick or were injured, they simply stayed at home without pay, and the family was expected to somehow manage. For most of the Industrial Revolution, workers were forbidden to form unions. The owners believed that the workers had no right to argue about wages or conditions in the factory. After all, the workers had not put up the money to build them. There were also a fear that the workers would unite to overthrow the government, as they had done in France. But a few unions did start to form. The first attempts by unions to fight against low wages, long hours, and unsafe conditions resulted in the leaders being fired or being put in jail. Finally, in 1825, the laws which outlawed unions were cancelled. Unions gradually persuaded the government to pass laws to make factories safer and slowly managed to improve wages. Cities were made dirty by the black smoke that poured out of the smokestacks of the factories. This smoke blocked out most of the daylight in some towns. It also caused serious health problems such as asthma, tuberculosis, and bronchitis. Conditions in many factories were terrible. For example, textile mills were often extremely hot, noisy, dirty, and damp. In addition, few machines had safety devices on them, resulting in many serious accidents and deaths.